welcome back to another episode of Scriptcase by Jamie. I know it has been a little while since you've seen my pretty face, but well, it's just how it is, right? So today it is macro day, but I have no macro for you. So today we are actually going to be talking about something else. Now macro day will return next week, don't worry there, and I think on the socials it probably still says it's macro day. But there was a bit of a mix-up with some of the macros. Of course, when you plan out 3 years of content, there has to be an up and down somewhere along the line. So yes, there was a mistake made, and of course today's macro was actually posted, 2-3 weeks ago now? So I figured today I would actually give you a news episode instead of your typical macro. So this month I did not create any Scriptcase video, as you may have noticed, and there was no live session which I had presented for Scriptcase. Now there is a reason for that, and that is simply because I'm no longer creating content for NetMake / Scriptcase, as you see here on your screen. So up till now I have worked probably just over 9 years now for NetMake, creating these videos to help you all, and that was also partially my idea. I've been creating them because I've had the time, because I felt like it, and because, well, it's been a bit of fun and some extra pocket money on the side. Now, apparently there's no budget anymore for videos, so I'm sorry, there's no more videos, unless I have time to actually create them just on the off cuff for NetMake. There will be no more over on the channel. Now, I may host a live session at some point, you never know, I may get invited. Of course I'm open to that, open to anything really, as you already know, and otherwise it's what it is. Now that does of course give me a little more free time and, well, give me some space as well, because a lot of these videos, some of them did take a little time to create, as well as then the project and so forth. You know, they were provided, I had to translate them. And up till now, of course, you have GPT now. I could just throw it all into GPT and I have everything redone in a few moments, which has been pretty nice over the last months. But previous to that, of course, it has always been a great deal of work to create any of these videos. Well, any of the Scriptcase videos, should I say. These videos are pretty simple because I just record whatever I want. And so anyway, let's return then back to Scriptcase. Now, if there are specific videos you are wanting to see over on Scriptcase, or would like me to create for the guys over there, or for you guys, just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to send them and they will then present them on their channel. So not a problem. If you want to see some more videos, just let me know, please. But of course, otherwise, generally, I think you'll find the majority of the content that I'll be creating then here on the Scriptcase by Jamie channel. Now, that does mean I need to create more content, of course. And at the same time, it needs to cool down a little bit because it's, you know, coming into summer now, and it means it gets very hot here in Portugal. So with that, I reduce my PC time, my computer time, or office time, should I say, and generally work more on the laptop because it's easier and more comfortable. Otherwise, of course, up here in the office, in any office, it can be a lot of work. Unless you have the air conditioning on all the time, which we don't have installed here, and we would need to install still. So maybe one day we'll have that. But in general, if we can go without, that is of course much better. Because as you know, air conditioning is really unhealthy. Anyway, so on today's topic that I actually wanted to talk about, because there has been a lot of talk about AI, about how great it is, how amazing and everything else. And I don't know if you saw recently, let me come here to my search and let me see here, Apple AI, let me go Apple, just go Apple AI. And you can see here straight away, Apple is right not to rush headlong into generative AI. And there was actually a test that they had done. So let's see if I can find that AI test. And it's pretty much what I've been saying all the time. And basically that is not AI. As many of you may know, hopefully you do know, all of this AI malarkey, well, it's not AI. It is large language models. It is machine learning. That's pretty much what we've based all of these new tools on, and they're all pretty awesome, yet they are not infallible, okay? They are not always correct. In many cases, they have told people to cause harm to themselves, which is, of course, not good. So do be aware of that, okay? These tools such as Gemini, which are awesome, they're really, really great tools. They are. I've been using Gemini more than ChatGPT lately. Of course, you've seen the videos I've created on ChatGPT, and it's a great tool. Gemini, I think, is actually better now I have been using it, and at the same time, I seem to have less issues with Gemini than I do with ChatGPT, and I'm not even paying for the pro version anymore, which is, of course, yeah, I was wasting my money there. Don't waste your money on ChatGPT. Those guys, well, first of all, OpenAI is being a little greedy because, of course, open source is what they wanted initially, and they've gone down the hole of grabbing pennies from everyone. So keep your pennies in your pocket. Go with Gemini instead. You'll have much longer. You have more credits. That's what you have. You have more credits. Okay, so it will function much longer and better because, of course, you can give it more content, and then with that, it will output more for you and for free as well versus the ChatGPT. And don't take any personal advice from these, okay? Because, yeah, you do not want to be told to be causing self-harm to yourself, or taking some crazy drugs, which it's advising you to do, or advising some people to do. And definitely don't have one as your girlfriend. Have you seen those AI girlfriends? Oh my God, that is pretty crazy, right? Okay, so yeah, don't go down that route. Of course, we want to stay with Scriptcase, and I can tell you, there is no comparison, okay? Even if you go along this jive coding, as they've been calling it, and they're giving it a couple other names along the way as well, I think. And even that, you're going to pull your hair out much more than you would do with a license of Scriptcase. With a license of Scriptcase, you can just punch out applications, projects pretty quickly, and then using these new language model tools, let's call them what they are, large language model tools, we can then output some of our code much easier, have an idea of how we should construct our project and everything like that. So you can use those tools for that purpose, and that is really awesome. So if you're starting out with Scriptcase, go ahead and give it a go. I wouldn't advise it if you are wanting to create something serious. In that case, I would say hit me up, give me a shout, we can discuss and I can help you out there and put you in the right direction. And make sure, well, that you actually get things done as you need to, because you will spend a lot of time in both of these tools, whether that be with the AI tools or whether that be within Scriptcase. And with that, well, that's what I'm there to help you with. Now, of course, with this, I actually wanted to talk about something else. You may have heard of N8N. Now, this is something I've been playing with over the last few weeks. See, I get so busy. The last months, I've pretty much dived into using Docker all over the place and replacing everything with Docker, which has been very interesting. I have a few videos I want to be posting on that shortly. I still need to edit those. And then there is also one here on the N8N, which I've been having a little play with. Now, I can tell you it's very easy to use. It's pretty awesome. And you can yourself create AI agents that can then grab your data, whether that be from your database, manipulate it and clean it up with an AI agent if you need to, add data to that, perform your calculations. You can do your automatic posts to social media and Office and it is pretty hardcore. Now, you do need to have this hosted locally for you to get the most out of it. Okay, so to get the most power out of this N8N setup, you do want to have this set up locally, and you can do that also within Docker. So I will create a video on that and show you how you can actually run this locally and set that up, and then all you can just go ahead and start creating your own AI agents, as they are called, or large language model agents, right? So with that, you can well, if you want to replace some of your employees, you can do. I wouldn't actually put it down to replacing employees. In some cases, absolutely, you will be. On the large scale, you would be. I think you're crazy if you're doing that. Absolutely. Some of these guys, I think they are also realizing you can't leave everything down to an AI agent or this system, because it just stops working and you'll have problems. And then at the same time, it can do what it wants to, because these large language models, well, they have started to get a bit of a mind of their own. Of course, we're trying to get it to think and remember things, and it's not really a brain. It's not AI as you would know it. So I think this type of AI that we are creating here, it is very different than the AI that we are maybe wanting and the real AI that we are all been dreaming of all our lives, I guess. Anyway, so do check this out. It does come with a lot of plugins, so you can integrate this with so much. And if you host this locally, you can have it actually perform local tasks. That meaning organize folders, rename files, organize your content, all of this. It can even convert it all for you and provide various other capabilities with online services. Maybe add all the files that you have into a Google Sheet or anything like that, and you can have all of that quite quickly and easily. Now, that is pretty awesome, and you may be wondering why I'm actually bringing these AI agents up as well, because you can integrate AI with Scriptcase. And if that is something you are interested in, then again, let me know down in the comments, hit me up in the email address, you have it down below, and you can then basically reach out and we can, well, maybe I'll show you how to integrate AI into your Scriptcase project, because then with that, you can then automatically have your email templates written for you as you are writing them, instead of having actual templates, which is pretty powerful. And at the same time, you can also have it rewrite some of your details to improve it, so it includes more information or data if that is something you would need or want to. That is all the capabilities that you can include within your Scriptcase application. Pretty much anything Gemini does or ChatGPT does, you can add some of that functionality into Scriptcase. Remember that this Scriptcase environment, this platform, works with just about everything and anything. And there are already PHP frameworks available for you to use today that you can integrate these capabilities and features and use them beautifully. And I'll tell you, and just a reminder, do check out here N8N.io. This is an awesome system that you definitely want to check out. If you are a developer or a coder or learning to code, then this is something that you want to wrap your little fingers around and have a good play. I tell you, it is hardcore. Okay, so with that, if you are interested in any of my services, just give me a shout. I am pretty much available full time now on ScriptcaseByJamie and everything else. And of course, there are many other changes in the world coming, because at some point, I guess maybe AI will take over, and maybe it will be Terminator style. I don't know. Let's hope not. But there is an awesome video I'd definitely like to share on AI, which is very interesting, and it is definitely worth checking out. I'll see if I can find it, and if I can, then I'll place it down in the description of this video, and yeah, you can let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, and you can let me know what your thoughts are down below, or reach out. There's my email address. Okay, and otherwise, I hope you have a great time, a great weekend, because it's going to be weekend now. And don't forget, next week, Friday, Macro Friday, right here at ScriptcaseByJamie, Macro Day, where we will be continuing with our Scriptcase madness of macros, because there are a lot of macros and they're all very powerful, just like the Scriptcase environment. So be sure to check it out. And again, if you need any help, you know where I am. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next video.